Dave, let's talk about the Spanish Moss murders. And yes, don't ever call me Pepe LaRue or Morris Shapiro because they're dead. And yes, Pepe makes an appearance.
They've just disappeared.
They just disappeared. Well, one's found in the sewer. But anyways, in a minute, let's go with our horror themed intro. Well, which is apropos to Kolchak. Here we go.
Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
Hey, everybody. Yes, it's always crazy here on a late horror show, right, Dave?
Absolutely. That's why I'm here.
Welcome to Late Horror Show. I'm Dino. That's Dave Plouffe. Again, read that if you want. Pepe. That's very long, Dave. Kind of like my channel name, but we're going to talk. It's Kolchak night. So we are going to talk about the Spanish Moss murders. It is season 1, episode 9. I go season 1. There's only one season. Episode 9. Interesting episode. We're going to talk about it. Let me say hi to everybody. Emily. Hello, Emily. Sweet Indigo. Good to see you. Connie Clary. Black Roses. Tune. Andrea. Paul Ham is here. What's going on, Paul Ham? Yeah, there's throwing some footballs around somewhere out there on the planet. Anyways, we are here to talk about Kolchak. And then next week, Dave, what's coming up next week? Oh, hello, Dave. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Yeah, we got something good.
Hello to everyone in chat as well. Since you already said hi to them, I'm not going to
Go
restate
one
all
by
their
one.
names, but we do have 18 people here, and we already have 30 thumbs up. So
Yes,
that
thank
is awesome to the power of Kolchak. Next week, I'm very excited because we have the Colombo Confab podcast people. That would be Sean and Steve joining us live. I've never seen them in real life. I can't wait to see what they actually look like. So, but they're both from Texas, and I can't wait to talk to them. You have no idea how excited I am. It is the equivalent to me of the Talking Art Bell podcast, and
Nice.
they have gone over all 69 episodes of Columbo. They do Murder, She Wrote right now, and they'll be joining us live here next week. And then the week after, we will be doing episode 1, season 1, because there are 4 seasons of the Wild West. I can't wait to see how you like it, hopefully, or dislike it. That's fine too. But I think you'll be all, what the hell, Dave? Why didn't you tell me about this 7 years ago?
Well, listen, I've known Wild West my whole life too. It's another show that I've just and I've watched. Well, listen, back when I was a kid, I remember watching bits and pieces of the episodes. But again, one of those elusive shows that just, believe it or not, never got to all through my life. And Wild West, steampunk, Western. I mean, it sounds perfectly up my alley. I love steampunk. I love Westerns. So there you go. Can't wait to do that. So something new on the horizon. And then I got, of course, Night Gallery next week. I'm going in order up until I feel like not going in order. Anyways, Francis McCloskey, what's going on?
And hello, Francis. Have you on Night Gallery? Have you already done the episode of the Little Black Bag?
Oh yes, you didn't hear me talk about it.
Well, I'm doing a lead-in. Did you know that the
my favorite episode so far with Burgess Meredith? Yes.
Okay, and do you remember the pawnbroker?
The pawnbroker.
In that episode?
Well, you know what? They show him really quick behind the desk or whatever, the counter.
Right.
So I think you're referring to Pepe LaRue.
I am.
Okay, so it is. Yes, it's Pepe LaRue. Okay.
Pepe LaRue. So I thought I'd throw in that to your Saturday episodes of
nice. Okay. Yeah. Because after you said that, I'm like going, okay, yes, he looked just like that. And it's not really Pepe LaRue. It's hey, I'm a Chicago man, the gangsta. It was kind of funny when he did that. Hello, Kathy. Good to see you. Kathy's glad when she sees you excited, Dave.
Oh, that's very nice, Kathy.
Yeah, throwing out what those emojis of hearts and claps and stuff. Anyways, let's move on. This episode, Dave. I don't know what's going on. I had the same vibe last week, but this. I mean, it's okay.
Yeah,
I don't think I'll ever really watch this episode again.
this one I probably would, but I'm only
Okay.
watching it for Elizabeth Brooks.
Well, a very short appearance. I mean, a very short appearance. I mean, you could just
Very,
turn it on the first 5 minutes, right? And
very
that's good.
well. Actually, she's the one later on in the episode.
Okay, so I'm getting her mixed up with the assistant.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
She is an assistant, but she is, well, I should say it. She's one of the assistants. She's the one that did not get murdered.
Okay. Gotcha. Hey, Bill Boyer, everybody in the chat. Thank you. Hey, Bubba, flood warnings here. I hope not to get. Okay. So here we go with Kolchak. Again, middle of the road. I just.
It was middle of the road,
Yeah.
but I thought it was very, very smooth. I liked the characters. I like the transitions. I like the story. Virginia Gregg makes an appearance here as well. It's just really, I thought it was a fun episode.
Really a fun?
Yeah. It's kind of like, when you kind of have, when you have scotch and kind of just goes down smooth, that's what this is.
Okay, I can get that reference.
You're gonna get a second glass of scotch? No, you're not.
Okay.
Or let me say this. It's kind of like Yoo-hoo, but it's just like it's not ice cold Yoo-hoo where you're all, oh man, this was just
the
a little bit
best.
colder.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Although I like my warm Yoo-hoo too. Anyways, I'm strange though. But I get what you're saying. Yeah, no, it's a 50-minute episode that really felt like it was only 20 minutes. It does go pretty quickly.
It does go very, very nicely.
But not a whole lot of like character developments and stuff like that. It's just really one monster until the reveal at the end, if he didn't figure that out halfway through, what was going on. But at the end, when you find out, oh, it's the guy dreaming. But anyways, it's just really Richard Kiel, the monster, Jaws from James Bond, he plays another monster. You don't see him though, but it's covered in a bunch of swamp moss.
And the thing was that when he was doing the last episode, the producers were like, dude, why don't you hang around for this one? And now I realize why. Because he really didn't need him. Because he was just, you didn't recognize his face or anything like that. Occasionally you saw the eye. That was about it. You didn't see anything else except his big stature coming up in the sewer, which I thought was really, really great.
Yeah.
But you didn't need him. You just needed some guy that could wear a suit.
Oh yeah. Big, again, just like swampy little, like the swamp thing. The tall, skinny swamp.
I really thought when I saw that figure, it reminded me of John Carpenter's The Thing, where you have that promotional thing where you just have that big kind of figure, and that's supposed to be scary.
Yes. And do you guys like my Lego tree house? It's hard to see. I know that because I keep it dark here. But when I start the Lego channel, and you guys will all know about it, who cares? You will have close-ups of these. You take off one of these, Dave, and you get to see the inside of like a bathroom. It's a Lego bathroom with a sink, a toilet. It's so cool. And then there's bunk beds in the other one. Listen, I'm just in love with Legos. Anyways, so we got Richard Kiel as the monster. Nobody else really, except Dr. Aaron Pollock. He is the guy that the doctor at the sleep analysis center.
Yes.
which I'd like to talk about this a little bit. And this
All
is
right.
starting off the movie because there's all kinds of strange and weird and stuff going on there. But he plays what's his name again?
We're not even at the doctor yet. We haven't even had a murder.
No, I know, but the doctor is Dr. Aaron Pollock in this.
Yes.
But he plays Culp in Battle for the Planet of the Apes.
And
that's the only one I really wanted to care about. But
he's also in Conquest of the Battle of the Apes.
oh, is he in Conquest too? Okay.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
He also plays Culp.
Oh yeah. Listen, he's a bad guy who he's trying to do bad things to the apes. But anyways,
Francis McCloskey says Lego bathroom.
Yes, listen. I wish I'm going to get you an up close. It's really cool how they do that. But anyways,
But those Lego plumbers.
the Lego plumbers,
They charge so much. It's the tools. Everything has to be so tiny.
Ready for a Lego night? Yes, sweet Indigo. I plan on doing. I'm not. You guys will. We'll talk about it another time. But hey, Tony, horror writer. What is going on? So this, can I jump right into the? No, you go ahead, Dave. Go ahead.
I actually want to, because you were talking about Dr. Aaron Pollock.
Okay.
When I was going through and looking at some of the past things he did, he did a TV series that sounds horrible.
Okay.
It's called The Ghostbusters. Have you heard of the Ghostbusters TV series from like the 1970s? I think it was 1978.
No, the Ghostbusters.
It is with Larry Storch.
Okay.
It is with Forrest Tucker and their ape. That's right. And an ape. And they go around solving crimes.
No.
It is Kolchak.
Okay.
Exactly. Except it's Kolchak with an ape. Because each week
they go
out and they battle evil. And Dr. Aaron Pollock was in one of the episodes. He played Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Did you watch one of the episodes or no?
I'm too scared.
Oh, Dave, the Ghostbusters. Isn't it funny how a decade, the Ghostbusters, 1970, isn't it funny how a decade could put out some stuff and a lot of the things are forgotten? Like, I never heard of that before, and it sounds great, but it probably isn't. Otherwise, it would be talked about today, I would think. I don't know. That does sound very interesting, though.
Well, he was also on Saturday the 14th is actually where I first remember him. Okay,
Pretty good comedy.
So the Ghostbusters, 1975.
Okay.
2 guys and their pet gorilla hunt spooks. A total of 15 episodes.
Okay.
The Maltese Monkey, the Canterville Ghost, the Big Bad Wolf, Flying Dutchman, the Devil's Revenge, the Vampire's Apprentice, Jekyll and Hyde, the Vikings Have Landed, Merlin the Magician, the Abominable Snowman, just to name a few.
How many seasons? Just one, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Anything with an ape, I think, is only supposed to have 1 season.
Okay. It sounds really, really interesting, though. The Buzz CJC, what's going on? Overkill with an O, what's going on? Good to see everybody. Bubba, I think I said hello. Well, you say ape and 70s, and I think Lancelot Link and the Secret Chimp. I mean, come on. It's a comedy with all those chimps, reenacting Mata Hari and stuff like that. You know what I'm talking about, right? Oh my God, you got to look up Lancelot Link, Dave. Lancelot Link. If you want a good laugh and chimps that are talking like humans, because the one chimp Lancelot Link is kind of like Columbo. Dave.
Take that back.
No, his character is like Columbo. They're solving crimes and stuff. Please watch it and tell me what you think. 1 episode and let me know. Aaron Kelly, what's going on? Good to see you. Man, I love Lancelot Link. Okay, so getting back to this, I mean, I have a feeling we're going to get through this pretty quick, but knowing us, we can probably
Well,
touch on so many different things. But
yes.
and I do want to elaborate on the sleep center. So you tell me when I can start talking about that.
Let's talk about the sleep center because I'm right there right now. We've got this gorgeous girl walking through. She's clumsy, but she's gorgeous.
Yes, it is.
And this is really like one of her only.
Dr. Aaron calls her a schlup later on.
Yes. Now, how do you spell that?
SCHLUPP, schlup.
Okay, because that's what Kolchak asks the doctor. How do you spell that, doctor?
And he said, I don't know. But anyway.
Well, what's great too is she's walking through and we have this guy asleep and he's got cotton balls on his face plugged into a machine. And she knocks into the machine and kind of like wakes him up a little bit.
Well, it was like an oops. And he's like, there's this IV machine, hooked up to him, which at first I was just like, wait, what's going on here? You know what I mean? Because they don't go into detail on what exactly is going on here. I interrupted you, but I got to elaborate on the sleep center, but go ahead. Yeah, she's a schlup and she bumped into it. Oops. And yeah, she's going to be affected by that, really. But yeah.
Yeah. So we got
for the rest of her life, Dave.
However short that is.
Yeah.
But she's going to be going to visit her family, allegedly, for 4th of July weekend. And it's hot, it's humid, it's summertime. Although we don't really see that in the weather at all in Chicago.
No. Which looks like Las Vegas in this episode a lot. I don't know.
It kind of does.
Yeah.
And she is relieved from her duty, goes outside, hears growling a couple of different times. The monster is following her. And then she has a very odd death where she's just kind of allegedly lifted up. And then you see her head kind of go back. And then that's it. No, like nothing else. But she basically has been crushed to death.
Yes, an automobile accident is what it's called on the coroner's report. But he basically, he's so big, he crushes the chest cavity of his victims. And this monster, played by Richard Keel, is a boogeyman monk. Okay.
For Francis McCloskey.
Oh, okay. Columbo or Monk?
I have never watched Monk. I just picked up the DVD. Everyone said to watch it, so I'm going to watch it.
Okay. Well, I still think Dave's always going to be a Columbo guy, but anyways.
Oh, yeah.
Who the heck knows, though? I don't know. But
the world is so weird. But
yeah.
I will tell you one thing that was scary about that early scene.
Okay.
Was a little sticker on some glass that said car wash 89 cents.
Yes. You can pick up. I picked up on that too. But the monster is, and you tell me if you remember, because later on they figure out it's bayou boogeyman from Louisiana. It's what they call the boogeyman in the bayous of Louisiana.
Yeah.
So that's basically it. And they also call him a something. Do you remember the name?
It's like paraforma something or other. Yeah, I don't remember the name.
Okay, so it's irregardless. We're calling him the monster.
It's something I'd never ever heard before.
Me neither. And I've heard a lot of creatures, cryptids, and stuff like that, and never heard that one before. But nevertheless, he's a monster from the Louisiana bayou, and he's killing people. Why? We will get into that shortly. And why did she die? We'll get into that shortly. But back to the sleep center. At first, I was wondering what the Sweet Indigo loves Monk. I knew Paul Ham would come over. Melfot.
All right. Point for Paul Ham.
The monster, Paul. It's the monster. It's an industry term. So back at the sleep center. It's entirely metallic, like a restaurant, like all stainless steel.
Oh yeah, it's so
Everywhere.
1970s.
Oh, everything. And I'm like going, because I'm thinking at first, Dave, that this is a sleep study. And that's what they said. It is a sleep study. But I didn't think it was as deep of a deep sleep study as it ended up being.
That was
But
weird.
yeah, I thought it was just a guy that laid on a bed and they're going to see how he sleeps at night. You know what I mean?
100% with you. Yes.
Yeah. And but that's why the IV caught me off guard. And then she bumped into it and he's like, like moving around. And I'm like, oh, what's going on there? Did she mess something up with but everything just looked so, clean, metallic, like a kitchen. And I'm like going, how is that comfortable? You know what I mean? Most sleep centers, it's you got to make it look comfy, like a bed at least and stuff, and they're supposed to relax it. But we find out it's way different than that. And you got to love all the gadgets outside where the doctor is. The doctor walks up to something and pulls out something and puts it back in. And I'm like, what the heck did you just do? But anyways, that's the sleep center. There's a lot more going on.
The only thing missing were the reel-to-reel computer things.
Right, yeah.
In the back wall.
And blinking, boop, boop, little blinking, it's not sci-fi though, but, so. And I don't think we give away, or can we? Can we talk about what he's doing in there? I mean, the patient now?
Sure.
Okay, well, okay. So it's that way because I guess it is a sleep center. They must do those types of things. But this one is the name of the guy. Doesn't really matter. What's his name? I wrote it down somewhere. Oh, God, I don't know the guy's name. Paul Longo. Okay, it's Paul. Paul Longos.
Langley.
Langley. It's Paul Langley. Okay. He's doing a sleep study and they're having him sleep for, what did they say? How long, Dave? I mean, he's permanently sleeping.
Oh yeah, like hundreds of hours.
Yeah, they put him out, like, I guess in some kind of comatose state or something. I mean, or anesthesia, like they put him under and he's sleeping.
He's going to be permanently asleep until they resuscitate him.
Exactly. Yes. And I was thrown by that. And I'm like going, well, do they do that? What's going on there? They said he has narcolepsy. And I like how the doctor goes on about, listen, he has narcolepsy. He could fall asleep reading a book, having sex, eating dinner.
And then Kolchak goes, maybe it's her fault. And I just like, did he say that?
He did. Kolchak had a couple of good lines in this.
Some
episode.
Great lines.
He always does. There's a couple always here or there, but yeah, no, he was talking about it. He's got narcolepsy and they're trying to figure, they're doing a sleep thing on him.
What bothered me, and throughout each time you see the guy, you see him going, Mom,
Yes.
which, of course, we'll learn that, as a kid,
yeah,
you're told about this monster.
Yeah. Because basically, I mean, if we talk about that, then we give away the whole plot of the movie. And I guess, does it really matter? I guess, I don't know. Because he's permanently sleeping and they're trying to figure out his narcolepsy and the reason behind it through REM sleep. And, they jot down everything they learn and stuff like that. But, that assistant bumped into him, thus being part of his dream, I think, because she has nothing to do with him. She's not a bad person, nothing going on like that. But she walks out there and I guess Paul, who's sleeping permanently for a while, he's manifesting this monster, this boogeyman. And why, Dave?
I don't know exactly why, but this
His mama.
was something that he was told, something
By
you
his
are
mother.
told as a kid from where
Yeah.
you grow up. It is specifically for those living in the South and the bayou country.
Yeah.
And again, I had never heard of this particular monster that basically comes from the swamp and it's covered in Spanish moss. And
And it'll come and get you if you're bad. You know,
I
what a sad thing to do to kids. But go ahead, Dave.
I thought a lot of this too was very much Nightmare on Elm Street, where if you fall asleep, all of a sudden
Yeah.
this
Okay.
monster comes from your brain and can hurt you. And as we find out, it will.
That, you know what, Dave? It's funny. I didn't even think of that when I was watching this, but now that you say it, yeah, the dream incorporation of the monster coming out of the dream. But see, the difference here is he technically manifests, and Kolchak says at the end, I think he talks about uh, how cultures can, manifest, new limbs, new fingers and this and that. But Paul, created something more than that, so something along those lines. But he was real, so it wasn't somebody. The monster wasn't something that came from his dreams and went back into his dreams. That he manifested it through his dreams, and it killed the poor woman because she bumped into him. And I guess the thought was on his mind, is all. But the other victims, which we'll get to, were involved in his life. So I guess that's the way the dream incorporated the monster killing them. I don't know.
Yeah, I had a tough time with the layering of how all these people were connected,
Yeah. Well,
because
I know that Pepe said that, and I'm trying to get these names, that Bobby Ray Solange,
yes,
who was an up and comer singer, and he was a hippie, long haired hippie who went in his shack to smoke and, whatever. And the monster killed him. And Pepe said that this other fiddler, which we got to talk about the fiddler too, Dave, because that was wacky. I'm like, what the heck is this fiddler doing in there? He's got some contract in the studio fiddling.
$60 an hour.
Yeah, but he was hardcore, like he was AC/DC, putting down some tracks. And Kolchak interrupted him. But anyways, Bobby Ray Solange was connected to Paul, where they lived, and he didn't like him. I know there was a conversation like that with Kolchak and Pepe, but that's as far as I got. I don't know. There was a connection. Anyways.
A couple new people have joined us, so
Hides in long grass. Which episode of X-Files was Darren McGavin in? I can't remember. Dave will have that in a second. Euler Greg, monsters hate hippies. Do you know that, Dave?
I did not know that. But I actually will tell you, Paul Hamm will know the X-Files one.
Yeah, let's let Paul Hamm look that up. Look that up, Paul Hamm. Hey, WTF Horror and Sci-Fi.
Yeah. And I wanted to go. Can we go to the second murder?
Please do.
Which is a cook, a random cook.
A short order cook.
At Chez Voltaire.
And you wonder if Paul, who's dreaming, who manifested this monster, had a bad dinner night there, Came home, sat on the toilet for 12 hours.
What's great is there's the dead guy, which if I am ever an actor, that's what I'd like to play. I just want to play the dead guy. Dress me up, put me face down with my face away from the camera, one arm back. And this guy, super nice shirt. They have sprinkled like moss on his back. And the police guy is like using tweezers and pulling the moss and putting it in a bag. It's great.
I love the conversation between, and I like the Captain Joe Mad Dog Siska.
Oh, you can have the captain.
Oh, you didn't like him very much.
I did not like this captain.
I can see it. He can grate on you. Okay.
A couple reasons.
Okay.
One, we will see this captain again. This is the only time a captain is repeated as the same Joe Mad Dog Siska.
Okay.
He's going to be in episode 16 called Demon in Lace.
Okay.
He is also the son of Edwin,
Really? Okay.
who
Interesting.
when you look at his face, you go, "Oh, yeah, that's Edwin's son."
Yeah, you can see it. Okay.
And do you want to guess the Twilight Zone episode that he appeared on?
I couldn't guess it. You can just go ahead and tell us.
It is A World of His Own, where the writer writes stories and the people in his life appear and disappear, and he can change everything about them.
Oh, nice. Because Darren McCavin is a writer and journalist, and why not put him in that kind of... Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this series. Euler Greg, good to know. Okay. So, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Well, listen, the captain, I thought it was kind of interesting. I guess I like the part of the captain where he starts out because Kolchak comes into the kitchen where the guy is down on the ground. He starts asking questions. He's like, "What's the salad doing on the dead guy's back?"
Yeah.
You know, he goes, "Just salad," you know, because he's poking for questions like he always does. And then he gets into this conversation, kind of close talker, like face to face, like, "Listen, Kolchak, I'm Zen now. I'm very peaceful. My wife says I need to be very, very calm. And because of my ulcer, again with the ulcer and my heart coronary and and then that's it. But then the next scene, he just from this point forward, he's blowing his top and he's like he's gonna have a heart attack any second. And he's screaming at Kolchak, "Get the hell out of here! What's wrong with you? You're such an idiot." I'm like going, "Oh, this is kind of funny." But I can see how it can grate on you.
Well, again, yeah, because I didn't like the guy very much at all.
Okay.
But I did like what they did with him. Basically, they switched him and Vincenzo. So in this episode,
Yeah.
Vincenzo doesn't get very upset. Vincenzo's just even
He's very calm.
whatever. But it's the police guy that, like we see him increasingly angry and angry and angrier. But I do love when Kolchak goes, "Siska, what's happened to you?" And this is also the first
Because
time
he remembers him back in the day where he said, "We used to call you Mad Dog," you know, so that, yeah.
And this is also the first time where the police chief has actually said, "Yeah, come on in, Columbo. You know the routine."
Horror Junkie for Life gifted 1 late horror show membership. Thank you very much. Thank you, Horror Junkie, and good to see you. Hopefully everything's going well. Good to see you popping up here now and then. Much love to you. Thank you. CM, what's going on, CM? Terry B, good to see you. WT4 Sci-Fi says salad. Yeah. But yeah, no, that was kind of interesting. That kind of back and forth between them. But from that point forward, he's going to have a heart attack. And then we're back at the news station where, or not the news station, the police station. And Kolchak's trying to get information, of course. And he's talking about, how about the salad, all that good stuff. I don't know. Take it from there, Dave. He also sneaks into Paco. There's some good names in this. Pepe, Paco. Gotta love it. I think Paco was the short order cook in Seinfeld episode. He left rubber bands in the soup. Okay. He goes, Paco must be back there working today. Anyways, little references to Seinfeld that I know. Anyways.
All right. I just figured he would be a very bad man.
Very bad man. You are a very bad man.
But yes, he does. He's at police headquarters.
Yeah.
And they have the press conference and they see the alleged person who got arrested for murdering the cook because he had a fight with the cook. And then they pull him off stage. But Kolchak's not buying it. He sneaks into the room where all the file cabinets are, but there's a guy in there and he says, "Oh, hey, I tried to stop these kids from vandalizing your car, but they let all the air out before I got a chance to go and stop them." He runs out. Kolchak gets to go through, pulls the files, And then he hides around the corner because someone comes in. I think it was the police chief.
Yes, yes. And at first I'm like, because later on the police chief tells Kolchak, explains, yeah, some kids left air out of the tires, knowing that Kolchak did it. And I'm like going, he's telling him right there. And how's he getting away with this? Anyways, yeah, he got away with it. Poor Paco. Francis McCloskey never watched a Seinfeld episode. Huh. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to ponder that for a few, but all I will say is you're missing out on some very good comedy. Yeah, okay. Moving on. I'm going to have to lie down. I'll see you guys in the overnight stream. Okay, tonight, CBS Radio Mystery Theater. Another batch of good shows. Listen, there's 1,300 of them. We can constantly keep going with these shows. They're great. Also, thumbs up. Please do that. Thank you very much. Please, and kind and rewind and all that polished metal and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we have 61 thumbs up, 30 people watching us, which is great. I don't know if you know, but the Super Bowl called earlier and asked if we could move our time Kolchak up. And I said, no, we do Kolchak every week. And so they're all, well, we're just going to have to go on still. Hopefully it won't hurt us too bad.
Well, they asked us to call it the Football Bowl. Remember, they said don't use that term because license agreements and stuff like that.
Very much.
Cyberpup done did, but yeah, I mean, they sent somebody to the house, and I just smacked them around a little bit. Told them go back to your football playing days, you schlup, and he left. He had a big football card too, Dave. Kind of like the Wiener truck. The Oscar Mayer Wiener truck.
That's exactly what it went through my mind.
Yeah, just like a football. Yeah.
But it's
people wondered. But yeah, so we're back at the Sleep Center, I think, right?
Not yet. We have a real quick murder with Bobby Ray Solange.
Yeah, Solange, and it reminded me of that Giallo movie I watched, Whatever Happened to Solange, which was. Yeah, I was going to say way better than this, but no, it was way better than this. Listen, I love Kolchak, but this was a middle of the road episode. But anyways,
to me, it actually reminded me of one of the early episodes of Kolchak where the guy stole the woman's purse in a snatch and grab, and he runs downstairs into a basement apartment, and there's all these TVs and radio equipment and things like that. And he gets killed. Same type of thing. It's a hippie. He's out there smoking some pot. And
he reminded me of the Greatest American Hero a little bit.
Really?
I forget his name, but the long-haired blonde guy.
Yeah,
he looked like him a little bit.
All right.
Anyways.
He was also in, if I remember right, he was also the lead player in The House. Or House.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. That was a good movie. Yes, with Norm. George Wendt.
Yep.
Yes, and Bull from Night Court played the big zombie.
Oh wow, yeah, Richard Mole.
There you go. So yeah, House is a very good 80s horror movie. I wouldn't call it cheesy. I would call it B movie, but very good, very good. So yeah, okay. So Bobby Ray Solange gets it. He gets crushed, of course. Just a victim, but he did have something to do with Paul. They were friends or neighbors or something in the same apartment. I don't know. Anyways, we're back at the doctor doing the sleep disorders.
Yes. It was really weird because Kolchak walks in.
Yeah.
And like the guy, and he's listening to like the assistant girl's like wristwatch or something. But then when the door opens, they go, oh, like it was something bad, but it was just weird.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, what's going on there?
That could have been Dr. Aaron Pollock. Yeah, he just he was a strange man in real life, and he transferred it over to his acting. But anyway, off to the second story, Francis McCloskey. Yeah. So yeah, it's basically Kolchak coming to ask more questions. That's when he says she's a schlub. There's really no way that anything else happened to her. He believes that she walked in front of a car. That's basically what we get out of that.
Yeah.
And yeah. And then we move to, I think, the Botanical Gardens, Dave, one of the
Uh,
better places. Unless
we
I
do.
missed something. Go ahead.
We do. And it's not so much a botanical garden as it is
No,
really just a greenhouse.
it's a
Uh,
greenhouse, and
and
an old wooden greenhouse. Yeah.
oh yeah, and this is my type of greenhouse, by the way. This is like
Yeah.
just put me in here. I'm happy. And
Mhm.
back right after high school, I worked in a place that had big greenhouses like this. So this was home for me. The doctor, by the way, Dr. Hollenbeck, is played by Virginia Gregg, famous old time radio actress. So it was wonderful to see her. We're also going to see her in a Columbo prescription
Nice.
murder. She plays the secretary for the psychiatrist. And
Oh, why aren't Jim and I asked, why aren't you all looking at the Super Bowl? Because I can care less. How about that? Does that answer your question? I can care less about the Super Bowl. I really can care less. Maybe the commercials might be funny, but I don't even think that will be that interesting. Listen, the whole affair, I can care. And you're talking to a sports guy back in the day, but I was turned off by sports, not sports, but football a long time ago. Maybe if my team did better, maybe they would bring me back, but I just can care less. Anyways, Dave, come on.
all right.
But
So
good to have you in the chat, Gemini. What are you doing here? Not watching the Super Bowl. Good to have you, Gemini Lady Jackson. Dave, go ahead.
we're back to the greenhouse, and this guy is looking for this botanical name, Latin name, and she's all, "Oh yeah, that's over there in this kind of like little moss or swamp area."
Yeah,
And
a
it's
4 by 4 foot. I'm like going, how is this a botanical garden? I mean, they just found some greenhouse and called it that. I don't know. It was so
totally,
weird.
totally. And so out of this water, which by the way, Spanish moss grows from the sky or from trees, it does not
Yeah.
grow in swamp per se. Um,
Yeah.
and he
The
pulls it out.
humidity grows it from the Louisiana bayous. Hmm.
And so now we know that it is Spanish moss, and in scene in that little segment, and he's uh, back in a hospital, and he's talking to a doctor, and the doctor is pushing a guy in a wheelchair.
Yes. And he's bribing him with
Yes,
money,
yes, giving him $10.
mentioning something about bets in Las Vegas or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
Kolchak and his gambling. Anyways, I don't know.
and so then he goes back to the apartment place where the Solange guy was killed.
Oh, I love this part. Well, this was a funny part because the guy that takes care of the place, the landlord, whatever, I don't know. He wasn't a landlord, but he was the guy taking care of the place, the handyman for the
Yeah,
landlord,
the janitor.
the janitor. There you go. But he's like, "What are you doing in here? You got to get out of here. There's a bunch of kids." Dino, who's your team? Cleveland Browns. Yeah, we missed it by this much. Anyways, so he's like, yeah, all the kids are coming in there. They're smoking, they're drinking, they're doing all kinds of things that they shouldn't do in here, and the landlord's cracking down. And yeah, this guy, and then Kolchak brings out his badge, and he says, "I'm from the health inspector,"
Yep.
and he goes,
Let me see that badge again. Nope. Already showed it to you. We've already had a complaint about here today.
Yeah, look at it. So a fire hazard over here. What a rats come in from out of the street. I think he said you needed a ventilated basement area or something like that. I don't know. Ease of access so anybody could come in and out.
Yeah.
That's what he said. Yeah. Yeah. See, Rocky says I can come in and out anytime I please. See, Kolchak.
But the guy also mentions that around everything was water and quote green glop.
Yeah, green glop. Well, the doctors. Wait, who said that? The doctor said that,
The
right?
superintendent said that.
Yes, yes. Okay. Wait, but that was before the botanical gardens, right? Or
This
after?
is after the botanical gardens.
Okay, well, I'm
So
losing.
now he's linking together that we've got Spanish moss over the chef. We've got Spanish moss at the botanical garden. We got Spanish moss down here in the basement where this singer was killed.
Oh,
And
because I like how the janitor explains that yeah, the teens, yeah, they came in here and they left a bunch of water and vegetables here.
yeah, it was a gang.
A gang, yeah, they left. There was a gang who came in and stabbed them, but they left vegetables. So this, I mean, what would be that? Would be spinach, right? I mean,
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, they opened up cans of spinach and just left it behind. I don't know. That's funny. Okay. Anyways, so he's off to look for street performers, Dave.
He is. He is.
We
Merci.
encounter a wonderful fiddler.
Yeah. Bien, bien.
Yeah, if it was present day, he would be on America's Got Talent, and he wouldn't make it past the auditions. But in this episode, Dave, he's booked studio time for his album, Johnny Joe's Fiddlin' Tunes.
Well, let me tell you this. This guy, by the way, Randy Boone in real life. So just having the Boone last name, I think, would make you pretty famous. He was in dozens and dozens of TV shows and a lot of westerns. And in all the pictures of him in the westerns,
Yeah,
he's playing a guitar. So it really made it work for him. Sitting
yeah,
around the campfire, strumming the guitar, whatever it was, banjo or what have you. And then yeah,
yeah.
and then he
being a
breaks
street
off. He actually steals $10 from
Kolchak.
Kolchak.
Yeah, yeah. Kolchak says, yeah, if anybody has any information on Bobby Ray Solange, uh, $10. But he takes it, steals it, gets in the car, and takes off. And then that's when we're introduced to Pepe. But this fiddler, yeah, I just who books space for? I mean, unless you're like a concert like genius or something, who's booking time in the studio for your fiddling?
I don't know.
I mean, I know the late '60s, early '70s was pretty big on folk music, but
Yeah, it was like he was Charlie Daniels in a way.
Devil doing down to Georgia. He was looking for a plane steel. He was trying to, anyways, whatever. So exactly, yeah. So Pepe, Dave, not from Bold Adventure, but we're introduced to Pepe. And hello, Ron Sylvia. I open my letters with this ancient Egyptian dagger.
You could also carve cheese with that.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is my little letter opener that I
Oh,
use.
from the dollar store, yeah.
Nothing nearly. Yeah, and I got 80 cents back on it too. Uh, but yeah, so we meet Pepe, who's not really Pepe. His name is Morris, and
Yeah.
I love the way he goes from being real French to being like this guy from
Chicago. Yeah.
like totally. He's from the hood, and he was also very
I like how he explains to Kolchak that I met up, start out with gangsters and stuff. He goes, but that didn't work out. I was too short.
well. What's great is he was in Guys and Dolls and with Marlon Brando and everything. And there's a great publicity still of all these characters in Guys and Dolls.
Yeah.
They're rough and tough and everything like that. And then there's Pepe over there at the far end. And he is smaller than all the other gangsters.
Oh yeah. He's a wee folk is
Yeah.
what we call him back in the day,
But it's,
Ah, my
they walk
wee
down-
folk. Are you not Pepe? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Dave. Pepe is going to be the next victim, though. Yeah, number
yeah,
4.
without a doubt. But we don't hear from Pepe at all. I mean, it's just like when he goes, he's gone.
He's gone. Yeah,
And
but he's the one that shows up later at the end in the sewer.
he does.
Yeah, when Kolchak's down in the sewer,
Oh,
he looked. Is that?
I don't know. I may have not. I may have not
Yeah, no, that's
In that
Pepe.
particular part. Oh,
He looks over to the side and through the the holes in the walls in the sewer, the big openings. Pepe's laying there like this with Spanish moss all over him. Yeah.
oh, poor Pepe.
Yeah, yeah. It was pretty
Well,
sad with his French
yeah,
mustache.
they're walking through, basically backstage at Universal, right?
See,
All
it's
these,
perfect that Pepe's down there and he's French because a lot of the bums come over the sewer and they do wee wee in the Pepe. And he's in a perfect spot. Anyways, go on, Dave.
ay, ay, ay. Ah,
That's worse than a dad joke.
oh, that
Bada
is.
bing.
That is. I'm like ready to hear stories about the Paris sewers and things like that, but no, not Dino.
Not
That's
Dino,
okay.
no.
But we have all these great brick buildings that they're walking by, and I'm like waiting for them to be attacked by someone or something. And it reminded me a lot of the true Night Stalker, like right when the vampire or whoever is hiding and killing their victims in the
Shadow,
alleyways.
yeah.
Yeah. And then Pepe disappears. Poof, falls through the floor. We don't know what happens to him, but I guess we do at the end. And then he's looking for Pepe, and I thought maybe Pepe tricked him and he's gonna like, be roughed up by some bad people or something.
Some
But
French ruffians.
yeah,
Listen, there is a hole in the wooden gate there, so we can assume the monster grabbed him, pulled him through there, and probably crushed his chest.
yes.
And then when Kolchak's back in that alley, he sees him too. He sees the monster.
Yeah, but then and takes a picture
Takes a picture.
because we have to have every Kolchak episode, we have to be in a dark room.
Yes, and this time I guess he didn't care for the work that guy stayed up all night
No.
developing one picture.
Yeah,
So he
he
did it
definitely
himself in 10 minutes.
didn't he definitely didn't develop a career there.
No.
So he
Oh, man.
Kolchak has to do it himself. But I mean, this is the quickest, like in out, of the dark room. And we're in the main office where Vincenzo is. I mean, Vincenzo's like giving this, it's going to be like really important, giving this speech and everything. And Kolchak kind of interrupts him and everything. And, um, Ron and Miss
uptight.
Emily
Uptight.
are
Uptight.
both there. But we get another view of the office, which I thought was really cool. It had like
Yeah.
cubby holes at the back. It had a dartboard. There was another person there that I hadn't seen before. Another researcher, reporter, whatever.
Yeah, you get a different angle, like up front where Vincenzo's at, looking out at all of their, their desks and stuff like that, which is, like it was a little different. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it odd that, I don't know why they go back and forth with Vincenzo. And, I know the captain had more interaction with him than Vincenzo did. But Vincenzo in this one, again, sometimes he's really uptight and just his nerves. He needs some Rolaids or Tums or whatever. And other episodes is like this where I don't know if he's got another acting gig and he comes in and just shoots little bit parts, but he has really nothing to do with the show, and it's very little interaction between the two.
Yeah, this whole episode was so short in terms of office time. This is, I think, the only office time we're going to have. And really the only interaction. Actually, there is one more. I take that back. But it's very quick. And none of these supporting people who are in every episode do much supporting in this particular episode.
Right.
It really is everyone outside of the office.
Yeah, I think that was I was trying to get that out at the very beginning. That was my point. Like it flowed. It's 50 minutes long, but felt like 20. Character development, supporting actors and actors. Really no important part in this at all, except Kolchak running around, figuring out the monster, and then what happens at the end. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. See you guys. Anyway, Morris Shapiro, says Paul Ham. Always the dark room. Morris Shapiro was who was Morris Shapiro again?
That's Johnny Silver.
Okay.
Happy.
Pepe, Morris Shapiro. Yes, yes, yes. Didn't say the names because I didn't think very relevant, but again, because they didn't have too much of not really any big roles. But so Pepe was the next victim. Kolchak goes back to the Sleep Institute where alarms go off. I don't know what kind of, I guess when there's a disturbance with the sleeper, the alarms go off, from the machinery. He goes, this happens every now and then. And I think what ends up happening, I know what ends up happening is Kolchak finds out that every time all of those alarms go off and stuff, and the Paul, who's sleeping, a kill happens at the same time that everything's going. So that's why the REM sleep or whatever's going on at the time spikes. So he figures that out. And then that's how they start to figure out that he's manifesting this through his dreams. And I don't know if you want to interject here. And I don't know if this is the part where he dies too, right?
He doesn't, at this point, the sleeper's not going to die. But this is the one time that Kolchak gets removed from the hospital or REM study or wherever he is. He says,
that's what I said, Paul Ham. Kolchak finds Pepe in the sewer.
Yeah. And he asked the doctor, Dr. Pollock, asks the nurse to get Danforth, and so we're all thinking this is another doctor, is going to help him. But no, it's the security officer.
Yes.
And he escorts Kolchak out of the way. But then we get a new scene where there is probably my favorite kill is the kill of the police officer on the motorcycle.
Oh, gosh. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
You got this police guy, and he's cruising down an alleyway in his 1950s motorcycle, which is really cool. Yeah. And then we have a Bigfoot type of, character. This is what cracked me up. I mean, the Spanish moss murder guy should be coming from the swamps, right? Like rising up, and everything like this. No, this guy does a Bigfoot jump into the alleyway and knocks the guy off the motorcycle.
Well, what I think is cool, though, about the idea of the dream or the dreamer manifesting a monster in a city, you know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily have to be the swamps of Louisiana, you know what I mean? He's bringing that monster straight to where he's kind of located and he's at, which is kind of, although he's hiding out in the sewer where there's water and everything else, but very, very cool. So he takes care of the cop, so that I think that makes 5 deaths, right?
What a few. I mean, this guy is racking up the numbers.
He is. He's crushing everybody he can get a hold of. And it's all people that he kind of get in the way or interacted with Paul somehow, this guy that's sleeping. Interesting how that happened. You know what I mean? That was a little confusing, but anyways. Where are we at, Dave? Sleep patient is dreaming. This is I'm at the end.
Police kill. Then we actually go to the studio where we actually get to see the guy fiddling that we referred to several times.
Yeah, we can't forget that too. Pere Malfait. Swamp glop all over Kolchak's desk. So that's the second time we see The Office.
Yeah.
And again, that first time when Vincenzo was talking, he was there to get the French beret that was under there. Emily goes, "Are you looking for this French beret, the hat?" Which I don't know. And then he escaped out the back. But then, yes,
But we're not quite there at that point yet, because we're at the music studio.
Okay.
And then after the music studio,
then
we have to go back one last time to the sleep study, where the guy's going to die. And this is really a great, one of those cinematic shots where you've got the police chief, you got Kolchak, you have the nurse, and you have the doctor, and then you have the patient laying out in front of him. So perfectly, set up. Again, the guy's got like not bandages, he's got like cotton balls, like plugged
Yeah.
in all over his head. And they're all, well, we need you to wake him up. And he goes, okay, I'll wake him up. And it's like, I can't wake him up. I've just given him like 2 shots of the same thing. And then he ends up dying.
Yes. He and at that point I thought, oh, is the monster going to be gone because he's no longer dreaming? But again, Kolchak explains at the end that he manifested him in physical form, so he's there to stay until and the ending. You're going to have to explain this to me. I missed something, Dave, but anyways, I'll tell you when we get to it, because he's off now, right? Am I there where he's off to get killed to the sewer, right? Are we at the end there?
We do have to stop by the office one last time as
Do
Paul.
we have to, Dave?
Yeah,
Oh, you mean in the movie?
we
The
have
show.
to, because
Okay.
I like The Office. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, hon, but we need to stop at the office again. I need to pick up my purse. I left it up there on the shelf. Anyways, Dave, go ahead.
All right. So we've got a janitor going through cleaning up the office.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, we called the plumber and this and that. We got a water leak or something. And then in a little bit, and this is what was really, I thought, one of the cooler parts of the episode is like there was.
Bye, Cyberpup. I'm sorry. I missed you there. You said bye, Dino. I'm sorry. Hopefully you still hear that. He's probably gone.
Well, you can always rewatch it.
You could. Yeah. Or Cyberpup, see you later. Maybe he heard. I don't know, as he's walking out the door. Okay, Dave.
All right.
Gloop glop.
So, yeah, we do have more green glop that has, gone all over the desk. And it's then that Kolchak remembers that, or thinks that, hey, the Spanish moss monster is after him now, which I thought was really cool. And one of the first times where I really see Kolchak get scared. He's never scared when he's battling vampires or anything like that. But this is the first time where it's like, oh, man. And then it's great because Vincenzo comes back in. And first time we see Vincenzo all dressed up real nice and made a hit at the speech he was giving and everything. And he goes, we closed down that bar. We closed down this bar. Now we're here. We're going to do a little bit more drinking and all of that. So.
Yep. So then he's off to the sewer. He's going to kill the creature.
Yes.
Okay, so this is where I need help with, because what does he do? He goes back to the botanical garden for a branch.
Yes, of bamboo or something like that.
But why?
Because this is the only thing that can kill the monster. Is
the bamboo?
Is this like basically bamboo plant that only grows in the bayou?
Okay.
And so he takes off a branch of it, whittles it down like a pencil.
Yeah.
And has it with him as he goes.
I don't remember hearing anything specific about that's what you needed to have to kill this monster. But
well, it's because you were so enthralled with the banjo playing or fiddling in the studio, because that's the character that tells us the only way to kill this monster is by this skewering.
Okay. Okay. So Boone said, "Oh, so the fiddler was okay. Yeah. Good on him. I hope his album sales are good."
Likewise, but we go into the sewers of Chicago, which to me, now I know I'm a little weird about this. I absolutely think this is a fascinating thing in any major city.
Yeah,
where you can pull this lid off and have this subterranean city underneath.
Yeah. But what they show is, that was, I liked it more so, Andrea. I don't know about that. Listen here. My letter opener. And Paul Ham, are you either you're way behind or are you listening to us? Bits and pieces, maybe. I mentioned that quite a few times already. Yeah, about materializing the creature, from his dreams. The creature wants his own existence, of course. But anyways, okay. Love you, Paul. Always good. So yeah, it's the sewer, Dave. But the earlier episode, which one was that where they actually do go under the streets of Seattle, and there's a whole city down there?
Yeah, that is the second movie, The Night Strangler.
Okay, I loved that.
Yeah,
That was awesome. This, he takes off the sewer top and he goes down in the sewer.
yeah.
Which the sewer driver comes back and puts it on anyways. I guess.
And really, the guy's working at night? Give me a break. And then I didn't understand where like he backed up over the sewer cup.
Well, I think that was another sewer in a different spot that a truck happened to back over.
All
so
right.
it wasn't the same, because he had to go back to where his bag with the steak was in, to the sewer that was covered.
Yeah.
Because at the end he does run up. Well, no, that was anyways, go ahead.
But does the sewer really have lights going down? Is it really halfway filled with water? Because that water looked a little bit too clean, Well,
listen, yeah. I mean, come on. I don't really know. I've never been in a sewer under the streets.
Yeah, I just think that would be again, just cool, fascinating to work around, and like how the cities were built, and especially older cities like New York and Chicago and even LA and everything. There's like so much that's buried here.
Oh yeah, of course. The underground stuff. I think you got that in every like major city, but even some of the smaller cities, like here in Cleveland, we have stuff like that. That's really not talked about. Like there's a lot of subway systems that have been just, built over, and they're all over the country, just sitting there with, graphics from the 50s, 60s, or 70s, depending on when it was covered. Wow. Just a time capsule, Oh yeah, Dave.
Allegedly, we have, and I live about 20 miles from the beach. Probably a little bit more, 25 or so. But we have allegedly tunnels that go underneath all the way down to the beach from like where I live. I've always heard stories of them and everything. And it's just very, very neat.
What kind of tunnels though? Because there are also caverns, hollow volcano, whatever you call those tubes that actually go from the entire western side of that, from California all the way up to Washington and above, I'm sure, that lead down through to the ocean. So yeah, is that what you're talking about?
It may be that, or I know we had a lot of natural springs, and with of course population, the water table has gone down, and I'm thinking maybe that is part of it as well.
Okay. Southern Coke Drinker Laura, hello, good to see you. Hopefully all is well. Well, and again, we have the Franklin Haunted Castle.
Yes.
And we have the Underground Railroad, where there's a tunnel underneath that castle house that runs all the way about, how far away is it? Maybe about mile, 2 miles at the most, that leads right to the beach where, the slaves would go and hit a boat and cross over to Canada. So lots of cool stuff here. Anyways, let's get to this monster.
All right. So we finally hear the growling. I was rewatching part of it, and I did see that, yes, you did find Pepe down in the sewer, which is really sad.
Poor Pepe.
Yeah.
So French and so dead.
You got some cut scenes from Ben, if you remember that movie with all the rats,
Yes.
And then Kolchak's in there slopping around in the water in his seersucker suit, He's got his burlap sack. Allegedly, has got this, was it a shank that Andrea Black called it? And he hears the growling, and it's coming toward him. And Kolchak has no problem going underneath the water. He's like quite the action hero in this.
Yeah.
And we also have a very Batman type of camera angle where the whole thing is shifted, like at an angle where you see, the guy coming at him.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. And I didn't care for the killing of the end of the creature. I thought it was really the lamest part of the whole episode.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, okay. I mean, so we got Kolchak just struggling, trying to get away, which he's doing a good job of. Kolchak, of course, the only action hero to elude this monster, this creature, the 7-foot swamp creature that's coming at him. And again, with more light on him, seeing parts of the skin and stuff like that, you're like, okay, it is what it is. I get it. But then, yeah, when he pulls out the brand,
it was a pencil.
Yeah, a pencil, and he goes like this. Well, when he puts it in him too, it bends a little bit, so it hardly penetrates, with the bend, and he backs up. And yeah, it was that was probably the worst part of the episode. But yeah, I mean, he dies, and then Kolchak's back like the episode started, where he's all dirty, looking like a bum, all kinds of grime from the sewer and everything.
He smelled bad too, but he's just, everyone's cool around him.
It's a stick made from bayou gumwood, is what it is. Anyways. Does anyone remember Food of the Gods? I love that movie. Yes, I do remember it. Good movie. But yeah, Dave, that's pretty much it, right? I mean,
talks a little bit more into his tape recorder, wraps us up on the episode. Seems that Dr. Pollock lost his taste for pure research after this incident. Shaved out his beard and went back to Long Island.
Isn't that way? And I was thinking about that. I'm going, really? I mean, just over this incident? I don't know. I mean, I guess, listen, the guy died on the table.
You lose a patient. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, I guess I get it. But yeah, average episode, 5 out of 10. Yeah, I don't know what was going on really.
I'd probably do a 6.5 or 7, actually, for me.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I just thought it was, if it's entertaining enough along to where I would rewatch it, and there wasn't any parts where I'd like to switch, switch over. I could watch it again in the background. It's not a big deal for me.
Okay. Yeah. Very good. I guess we got the most popular episode coming up next, right? That we will.
The next one, and let me bring it up because I'll read the
synopsis, the plot.
Yes,
if you will.
Oh, maybe not. The next one it says is the Energy Eater. Yeah, 11 is the Horror in the Heights. I'm sorry. Okay. The next one is just a halfway point. Carl discovers that a restless spirit known as Machimanito is killing the patients of a new hospital which is being built over its resting place.
Okay. Well, again, we'll watch it and we'll see. Have no idea. Haven't seen it yet. So next week we got Columbo with the Columbo Confab podcast guys. Steve and Sean. That'll be fun. And then we got the Wild Wild West episode, the very first episode, the following week, and then Kolchak again. So there you go.
Now, what are you going to do next Saturday? Have you decided to do another night gallery, or
it's going to be another night gallery? Yeah. I've already got it posted. Then I'm not sure if I'm going to start skipping, like doing a new show and then night gallery, new show, night gallery. So it just depends. Horror in the Heights is the classic episode written by Jimmy Sandster of Hammer Horror fame. Nice, Paul Ham, Hammer Horror. There you go. So yeah, that's what'll be coming up here. Again, CBS Radio Mystery Theater tonight. Timestamps all listed for all you good folk. We got 83 thumbs up, Dave. Very good, very good. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up before you go, if you haven't already. And check out Dave's link below to his channel. He's got a new garden video up.
Yep.
Nice, beautiful weather, and Bo following you around like usual.
Usually, yeah. I even dubbed in some rain. We had a tremendous amount of rain this week, and too much, if you ask me.
Nah.
We normally get our average is 12 inches of rain. We got 11 over 3 days.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it was a pain. We even had school canceled on Monday because of the rain.
Jeez. Yeah, it was about 64 degrees here today. Took a stroll down the street with my cane. You know, it was sunny where you were, though, huh? Yeah. Did you make it to the grocers? Hey, Bertie Gambano, what's going on? Hey, hi, what's going on? Tune News, great night, y'all. Take care, each and every one of you. One day we need to just do an episode just talking like old men. Yeah, Dave.
I don't think so.
No, yeah, it won't happen.
Nope.
Okay, maybe I'll find an old man on the street and bring him in.
There's always Ted.
Ted will do an old man with me, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, anyways. I don't know. Okay, so there we go. Anything else, Dave?
I got nothing.
Got nothing?
Nope.
Listen, people, I think we're done. We're out of